start with Phil so we can get him off the phone and then kind of work our way backwards?
Yeah, that's fine. You would just do a quick intro and we'll jump
This
on
is a
in.
busy man. He's got to be in like Thailand and Zimbabwe eating.
I'm going with
You're going to go with him? Oh, boy, that'd be season 9.
Yeah.
Kim
Sherri,
Whitley.
you're welcome anytime,
in
Sherri.
his mouth. Huh?
You're welcome anytime.
And I love to eat.
Wait.
Sherri, what city are you from originally?
Chicago.
Oh, you could have been in my Chicago episode.
Chicago show. They're fun.
right. Have you done Cleveland yet?
Him's Cleveland.
Not yet. Is that where you're from?
That's where I'm from, Phil.
Come on. If I do that, you can be in that. You can both be in it. I'll take you anywhere I
No.
can get you.
I'll do. I'd rather do Eat, Pray, Love countries because that's where I'll find somebody.
Wow.
All right.
I'm not.
Let's
I
intro
know
Phil.
everybody in Chicago. We'll go to Chicago and you'll fool around and interviewing my cousin who makes his barbecue on 75th Street.
Yeah.
No. Let me
it's
go to
great.
Italy. Let
Yeah.
me go to.
Ah.
I'm taking Phil to get a shoulder sandwich.
A shoulder sandwich.
Shoulder sandwich. Phil don't know nothing about that. Let me tell you
Pork
something.
shoulder.
Look at you with the coleslaw and the French fries and the barbecue sauce on it at Whitmore's. I'm gonna take you right there, Phil.
All right, so we have two different.
Sherri,
views.
Kim might be winning.
I know because it's really about me if I go to Italy with you.
Right.
I'm getting sorbet with somebody.
All right, let's intro Phil. I'll figure out
Gelato.
this
What is
mess.
I know.
gelato?
Thank
That's
you.
what I heard.
Wait,
I heard.
Phil,
Don't sleep on gelato.
no, Phil, I was like this. Did she say sorbet? You can get that here in New York and LA.
But not the way
Gelato.
Italians do.
Gelato.
Gelato.
You're going to have a lot of gelato.
I would
Kim used to
love
date a
lot
guy
of
named Gelato. All right, let's go.
I love sending Kim pictures because she gets irritated. Whatever irritates Kim, I like to do. So like I had
Two funny mamas. What's with the grin? Sherri and Kym. Yeah, that's them.
I'm so excited. I'm so very, very excited. You know, this gentleman, he's like, what's the word? He's a Renaissance man. That's the word I was looking for, Kim.
Look
Because
at
he
my
just
friend. Did I tell you I love you? I just want to see your little face. You really
No,
are my little sister. You get on my nerves, but I love you. Okay, go with the introduction. Sorry.
Gosh, I was going to say the same thing about you. I need to wait. Hold on. I got to put my computer back a little bit so our heads at least look the same.
Oh, go away.
I'm gonna back away from the computer. Yeah, so now we kind of look the same. But this is exciting because I used to do a show. I was recurring on a show called Everybody Loves Raymond.
Uh-huh.
And I had so much fun and I auditioned for it. And it was just every time I went on the show, like the entire cast was so wonderful. But the thing that I always remember, which I have always tried to implement wherever I went, but budgetary concerns usually stop me. Phil Rosenthal, and I'm gonna say this reason why. This is me. I played Sergeant Judy on Everybody Loves Raymond. I was Brad Garrett's partner. So much fun. But Phil Rosenthal was there's Ray Romano, there's Brad Garrett, there's me. Jeez, where's my hair?
Look at that head.
I tried to make being a police officer as authentic as possible. But now I'm looking at this and I'm going, no, there's Hollywood police officer, glam, like Tiana Taylor.
Like Tiana Taylor.
In my movie Straw, there's Tiana Taylor, hostage negotiator with full beautiful hair and lip gloss. That's the kind of sergeant I want to be. But anyway, I played the Sergeant Judy and it was so much fun. But Phil Rosenthal, Kim, he was known for his generosity, number one, but he always had food on the set of Everybody Loves Raymond. And not only food, Kim, they would switch it out like every few hours and it'd be brand new food. And when we were shooting, it was always just different food. I gained more weight on Everybody Loves Raymond. And every time they would come to fit me for my police uniform, they would always go, what the hell is going on? It's because Phil Rosenthal, he always believed, if I'm correct, that if you have food, you're more happy. Look at my pants, big, and look at me grabbing my waist. That probably was because I'd eaten a lot of food before we shot that scene.
Your pants, look at your cheeks. Okay,
My cheeks,
sorry.
because I love eating on Everybody Loves Raymond. But he always believed that if you ate good food, it fueled everything else. It'd be a happy set, it'd be happier people. And I think that's true.
Yep, food and
And
sex.
well, he didn't have a lot of sex going on. It was a family show. So that
Okay.
was, I'm sure if Phil created a nighttime show, it'd probably be a lot of food and sex. But
Okay.
until then, we're going to focus on the food, which was
Yes.
absolutely amazing. And I really appreciate it. It's those, it's the little things like that of a person who considers people and, feeding them. That's like a Jewish mom, it's like one of our aunties who's nurturing and they go, baby, here, let me make you some food. That'll make you feel better, in our
You know
culture.
what? Can you tell the people why we're talking about them? We just broke out talking about
Yeah,
Phil.
because I'm putting forth context. It's
Zero
like a
patience.
story that I'm telling.
Zero
And I'm
patience.
going to get on to it. It's just, I'm telling this story.
Kim's
Good
been mad for a
grief.
minute and a half. She's going, just say the season 8
You
premiere.
got to learn how to have a
No,
love.
I wasn't even saying that. I was saying because he's going to be on our show. Not that we're just breaking out.
No,
talking
we're
about-
introducing him. That's why I'm telling a tale about.
Okay, tell me.
You think I'm just coming out talking about a man named Phil Rosenthal? That sounds like a song.
Sometimes
It was a man named Phil Rosenthal. Walking sounds like a folk song. Anyway,
Debbie Allen is calling me. Jesus, what do I do?
Name
can you
dropper.
tell Debbie Allen we're about to have a guest on called Phil Rosenthal, who
Okay.
created a show called Everybody Loves Raymond and now has a new show on Netflix entitled
Good. Me and Sherri
Feed
Shepherd are
Phil.
doing our podcast.
Somebody feed Phil.
Somebody Feed Phil.
Season 8. 8 seasons,
Season
Sherry.
8.
It's crazy. It's
This is what I
out
can't
now.
believe.
It's on Netflix.
While
Make
she-
it number 1.
Absolutely. And while she gets Debbie Allen off the phone so we can finish the
Oh, I'll
podcast.
be finished with Sherry in
One
about
thing
an
I
hour.
don't understand is why she answers the phone while we're doing a podcast. That's like most people put the phone on do not disturb. Most people just say, you know what, I'll be done in 50 minutes. Kym actually answers the phone. So what I want to say about Somebody Feed Phil, I love this show. If you love to eat, but you also love seeing about relationships and you also love people, it's such a wonderful, wonderful combination of food. I think for Phil, and I want to ask him this, food just like fuels everything for him. You got good food, you got good communication, you got good friends, you got good food. I think for Phil, he'd want food to make the world go round. So I want to introduce him, but I would like her to get off the phone. So hold on one second because I'm about to send her a message that's kind of cursing. Okay, is she off the phone?
Girl, I'm glad. I'm sorry I had to. Do you know how long I've been trying to meet with Debbie Allen? And for her to call me, so she said, I need you over here in a couple hours. She said, when you going to be through with Sherry? That's what she said.
And you tell her, I said, when you going to be done with Debbie? So we mutual feeling. When you going to be done with Debbie? When you going to be done with Sherry?
Kim
So
says,
me and her probably won't be talking again.
great news, Debbie. I have a producer and writer and creator. He's here. He's here right now. And we're going to workshop
Debbie gonna
something.
create a show for you.
There you go. Phil Rosenthal,
I'm just
Debbie.
putting it out there.
Kim
Just putting it
Whitley.
out there.
Wow. Okay. I heard your introduction. I'm ready.
Hey, there's a tour happening, but most importantly, go to Netflix, check out season 8. Somebody Feed Phil. Phil Rosenthal, everybody.
Phil Rosenthal.
Hi, my
Former-
darling people. Oh my God, I love you so much. That was such a nice intro, even with the phone call. But Sherry, I got to tell you one thing. I know you said there was a lot of food, not so much sex on Everybody Loves Raymond. There was so much sex going on.
Okay,
You
I
didn't
was
know.
not there for those episodes. I'm
I have to
flabbergasted.
tell you, no, off stage, like Doris Roberts, she slept with everybody.
Shut
Doris
up.
Roberts. the mother and mother-in-law of all time.
Oh my God,
Peter
Phil is
Boyle,
hilarious.
nonstop sex machine. Peter Boyle.
Peter Boyle. Can I tell you a fun story? Phil Rosenthal and everybody.
Yeah.
This is my former boss, Phil Rosenthal, creator of Everybody Loves Raymond. The show that ran, how many seasons did Everybody Loves Raymond run, Phil?
9 seasons, 210 episodes.
210 episodes, 9
And Sherri
seasons.
Shepherd was in the best ones.
Well, you got multiple Emmy wins, and everybody's gone on to much, much success. And God rest souls, Doris Roberts, Peter
Yeah,
Boyle, two of the
the
best
best.
parents you
Oh
ever
my
could
God,
have.
funny. But that was a funny show, Phil. I'm telling you.
Wasn't
If you
it?
Thank
watch,
you.
if you
It's still on. Let me tell you something. 2026, this coming year, we've premiered 30 years ago, and it's still on.
30 years ago.
30 years ago.
30 no, Phil. No,
Feeling
that's
old
impossible.
now?
No, that's impossible, Phil. I think you know.
1996 we went on. That's 30 years ago. And
So,
we're
90.
still on all over the world. We're so lucky. And in fact, the Paley Center here in New York, they're doing a 3-month-long exhibit. Sarah, you got to come over and see a
I
whole
will
exhibit about Everybody Loves Raymond.
This is
I will
hard.
come on and see. Wait, but Phil, what I want to ask you is, to
Yeah,
be able to say that you did a show, you created a show 30 years ago, and it is still as relevant today as it was back in 1996. What do you
crazy.
attribute that to?
I actually know why. We didn't do topical jokes. We didn't talk about the current events of the day. We focused on marriage, relationships, brother, sister, right? Children, parents, the stuff that never goes out of date. When you make a show, I think it's more important not to be timely, but to be timeless so that it is still worth watching 30 years from now.
That's so
Wow.
true because you can watch any episode of Raymond and whatever they're talking about, you can relate to it. And I love because every character, somebody would say, my mother's Doris Roberts, my uncle is Peter Boyle.
Yeah.
Brad is I mean, it just, you're right. It was timeless. And I had heard that when you did scripts, because you were very efficient with your time, you believed in letting your staff get home at a decent time because there's some showrunners, Phil, who would keep the staff working till
All night.
Oh,
all
I
night
worked
long.
on those shows. I worked on those shows. I didn't want to work on that kind of show. And I realized, and I got this from Carl Reiner, who did the Dick Van Dyke Show.
Ah,
He would start every morning. What happened at your house this week? Right. And I thought, wow, we have a show where we can say exactly that. So if you guys work for me in the writer's room, your job was to go home, get in a fight with your family, come back in and tell me about it. So I
weird.
wanted you home for dinner because that's where the stuff was happening. That's where the stuff
Yes.
of life is, right? Around the
Yes.
kitchen table. So
Brilliant.
And
that's why it seemed relatable.
you never ran out of stories.
That's right.
No.
Here's the other thing. A lot of shows that you see on TV they're very high concept. What do I mean by high concept? We come from Mars and we're going to come to this neighborhood. And we got to not let anybody know we come from Mars, right? So
Okay.
that can only run a certain amount. Every single episode, you're serving that premise. They can't find out we're from Mars. That's every episode is that.
Right.
High concept. Low concept is a guy and his family live across the street from his parents. That sounds like
Wow.
nothing. That's not a sexy show that everybody wants. But infinite number of episodes can happen from that, right? Or at least 9 years worth.
Yes. Yes.
When you
Wow.
pitched this, did you pitch this show with Ray Romano, who was a stand-up comic at the time, or
Mhm.
did you go in and did you pitch it to Ray? Did you and Ray go in and pitch it together?
So
The
here's what happened.
concept.
Ray
Mhm.
Ray had been a stand-up comedian for 12 years. He'd been trying to get on David Letterman. And from the first time he was on, 6 minutes, Letterman said there should be a show for that guy. Letterman had a deal with CBS, a production deal. so he can get shows made. So CBS says, oh, he seems funny. Who's going to write it? And they set about looking for writers, and they found me. And I meet with Ray, and he tells me about, just like if you and I were going to work together and I don't know about you, I would say, so Sherri, tell me about yourself. Well, I said that to Ray. He says, well, I got twin boys and an older daughter, and my parents live close by. They're always bothering me. And my brother's a police sergeant. He lives with them. He's divorced, and he's jealous of me. And he saw my stand-up comedy award. He goes, it never ends for Raymond. Everybody loves Raymond. And I said, well, it doesn't seem like there's anything there we can use. No, I said, that sounds good. He goes, what do you mean? I go, that's as good a place to start as any. What do you mean? He goes, just my life. I said, yes, your life. I'm not going to make you a gay astronaut from Cleveland. I'm going to make you something close to you because, by the way, Ray, you never acted before. So make it close and surround them with great actors. That's what I thought. And what I didn't know about the personalities of his family, I filled in the personalities of my family. So that's
Wow.
my mom that I'm writing, right?
Wow.
Wow.
Yes. Now my mom she didn't look anything like Doris, but that kind of spirit in there, we amped it up, of course, a little bit to make her
And
the
that
most
feisty.
intrusive person in the world. Yeah.
All my
But
aunties loved Doris Roberts. They said, that's me. And I said, you're
absolutely,
absolutely right.
Yes. When I
Doris
tell
was
you, it
so
was
phenomenal. Do you know
great.
she won 4 Emmys playing that part?
I do. Yes, I do.
What?
How about that? And your friend Brad won 3.
I know
Dang.
the
How great was
characters.
he?
So did you see? And I love somebody feed Phil, so we're going to talk about that. But it always fascinated me
Thank you.
with Raymond. But when you created this, did you in your mind envision that they'd be doing a whole week's run of just the history of Raymond, that it would be the success that it was, that they would multiple Emmy Awards for Patricia Heaton? Did you envision this?
No. How could you? You're lucky. All the planets have to line up just to get on the air, just to get the pilot made. You know how many
Yeah.
scripts they read that they don't even make the pilot? And then they make all these pilots and they pick 3
Yeah.
for the year? That's it. So we were lucky just to get on. And then I always say it's not like hitting the jackpot. It's like hitting the jackpot over and over and over again. Every one of these steps, you get the cast, they film it, then they put it on. Then it has to do well enough to last the season, not being canceled after 3 episodes. And
Right.
you get another season. Every season that you get picked up is a miracle, right? And then syndication.
Wow.
That's
Those were the
miracle
good
upon
old days.
miracle.
Those were the good old days. We don't even hear that anymore.
I know you don't. I know that we got in and out of the business at the peak.
At the peak.
But Sherri,
Yeah.
you were such a great part of the show. We loved you so much. I was just thinking about you dancing with Brad in that episode. That was so fun. So great.
I do have to say thank you, because I will tell you, every show, it was life-changing for me that you casted me on the show. And every show, or not every show, but everywhere I go when I do stand-up, or even on my
Yeah.
talk show, there will be somebody that says, I remember you from Everybody Loves Raymond. Do you still talk to the cast? It really is something that is very, very memorable, my character. And I thank you for choosing me, because I know that you guys were looking at Queen Latifah for the role of Sergeant Judy.
Oh, I heard you say this. I have to tell you something. I don't remember that.
Phil, let me tell you something. This is what happened.
Yes.
I quit my job as a legal secretary maybe 3
Yeah.
weeks prior. And I said, Lord, I'm going to step out on faith, because I really want to be an actress. And then I got the audition
Yeah.
for Everybody Loves Raymond. And my agents told me, they said they're really looking at Queen Latifah for this role, but they're
I
seeing
don't
other
believe it.
actors. So you mean to tell me
think they told you-
I can call Latifah and tell her none of that is true? Because I didn't told Dana.
I-
When I told
You
Latifah,
can tell her. You can tell her you spoke to me. And I remember when I think I saw this in print somewhere, and I said to Ray, "Do you remember that?" He goes, "No."
My
So
agents.
I think here's what I think. You're not going to believe this, Sherry, but sometimes agents don't tell the truth. And
I'm gonna bookmark that.
and I think
Bookmark this
maybe
one.
they were saying, you know how they always start after an audition, they call you and they go, or any meeting at all in show business. The first thing they say is they loved you, but right? They loved you. Oh, if everybody loved me that said they say they love me, I'd be the Dalai Lama.
Yeah.
If everybody
Yes.
loved me so much. Yeah, no, it's
Oh
all
my
baloney.
gosh.
So they have to have a great excuse for you. They don't want to hurt your feelings, and they want you to know it's not them or it's not you. Yeah, Queen Latifah,
Wowza.
she's a big deal. So that's what I swear to you, I don't think I ever met Queen Latifah. I don't think she ever came in. I swear,
That's what I
I don't
told.
remember her. And I think I would remember if Queen Latifah came in the office to audition.
No, they told me
Well,
that
first
you
of
were
all,
looking at
First of
her.
all, Queen Latifah wasn't auditioning back
No,
then.
no,
I don't
but
think
that's
she
what they told me. They said that you guys were looking to offer her the role,
offered
but
To
you were
the
offer
seeing
role.
her the
other
part.
girls to offer her
Yes.
the part. So when this is so funny.
That's
So
what
when
Don't
I
remember
they
told
that.
agents say
Not at
that. They
all.
always say that.
the agents, will
Who's the
Yeah.
definitely. So when I told Dana this, we did a movie called Beauty Shop. I said, Dana, they were like looking at you for the role. And she says to me,
Yeah.
I need to call them. And I said, no, it's too late. I got it. You can't call over there now. And then I told her again when she came on my talk show. And she's like, I still should call Phil. And I'm like, no, because they may do a remake and I need to be in it. Friggin' be calling
Here's what
Phil.
I remember. Here's what I remember. Whoever we always see a lot of people for every part.
Yeah.
No one was better than Sherry Shepherd. No one. No one came
Oh, wait,
close.
hold on. Wait a minute. I'm gonna stop you right there, Phil.
Yeah, that's
No, forget this. First of all, Phil, I was doing black shit like BET, so y'all didn't know me. Sherry was in the white world. So first of all, nobody was better. Let me tell you something, Phil. Had I been around, Phil, I might have snatched that role, Phil. But then Larry David saw me, and Larry David brought me into the white world. Let's start there. Okay, I went too
So
far.
let me
He's
explain.
better.
Kim Whitley,
He's better than me.
she played
No,
the prostitute in Curb Your Enthusiasm with Larry David.
Loved. Loved.
Wonderful casting. Wonderful, wonderful casting.
I love Larry,
Um,
but I love
This is
I
Phil more.
you were to ride in the passenger seat so he could be in the express lane, right?
Carpool Lane. Yep, that was
Great
it.
episode. You know
don't
who
remember
else was in Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Oh,
Me.
you. You were at what part? What did you play? What
I
did you
did
play
two
again?
parts. Do you remember? He wore a MAGA hat to get out of having lunch with me.
Oh my
Oh my God, I
gosh.
got to see that
Do you remember
episode.
that?
Oh
I
You
gotta
got to
my!
see
see
that
it.
episode, Phil.
I got to
Wait, I
tell you
gotta write
something.
this down. I gotta write this down. Oh
Yes.
my God! Do you know the name of the
So we meet
episode?
at a party. He sees me at a party. He knows I'm going to ask him to be on that stupid food show. And of course I see him, and first thing I say is, Larry, you want to go to Ethiopia with me? They have great coffee. You like coffee? And he's like, get me out of this. And he gives me what's called the big goodbye. And I go, is this the big goodbye? I call him on it. And he goes, no, 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 because he's a big liar. And I go, well,
Right.
if you're happy to see me, then let's have lunch. So then he goes, yeah,
Okay.
that's it. He wears the
That
hat. He
is
wears that hat.
hilarious.
This is 2016.
Oh my God!
2016.
2016.
And I'm
Wow. Okay.
thinking, oh, remember I said just now, you never want to do topical stuff because it could be dated? So I'm
Yes.
thinking, this is a mistake. He shouldn't do this joke, the MAGA hat. It might be dated by the time this show is on. Guess what? Not dated.
Unfortunately, it is very
He was
topical.
right. He was right.
Look at that.
That is so funny. I'm going to be watching that along with Somebody Feed Phil, which is out on Netflix, season
Right.
8.
And Phil, wait, I gotta tell Phil something real quick so we can move on to his show. So just so we can just bring it
Tim, you were great
all.
on that episode. That was so funny.
Oh, thank you. I played Ray Romano's love interest in a show
What?
called Yes, Made for
Yes, you do.
Love. I did.
In
I
a show
played a
called Could
nun.
You Believe This?
You were
It
a
was either
nun, right?
I was a nun.
What?
He was in love. He was in love with a fake doll. This doll, not a fake doll, but a doll. It was the
Oh,
craziest
that I
show.
know. I know that show.
Yeah, so I was his love interest. He left me for the
Yes, you
doll.
were.
The nun. Yeah, isn't that crazy? It's so
Great.
how we look at you connected. And then I did
Yes.
Till Death, of course, with
Yes.
look at that. Damn, you're quick,
I love it.
Chris.
You
I
know
had so
what?
much
What's so
fun.
funny? This is 7 degrees of separation from Phil Rosenthal.
It really
This is less than that. This
It
is
is
1
less than
degree.
that. It's 1 degree.
It's 1
You
degree.
know, I forgot you
You and
did
I have
Made
no
for
degrees, and
right. And then
Kim and I have 1
Till
degree.
Death. Right. With Brad Garrett, I was on Till Death. I was a reoccurring, and that's what I became.
And then
Amazing.
I did. It's so funny how they went on. I'm sorry, Kim, I didn't mean to interrupt
No,
you.
no, that was it. I was just
So
gonna
funny
tell
how
you.
everybody went on. Patricia Heaton, after she left Raymond, she did a pilot with Jenny McCarthy and me. Where we
What?
played
What?
PTA moms. I don't remember what it was, but I was the principal. Patty was one of the PTA moms, and Jenny McCarthy was one of the she was like a young bimbo type that had married somebody who was on the board, the school board. And it was like how we formed this unlikely friendship. And we did it. It
Wow.
was for ABC. It did not get picked up, but we had so much fun. This is such a
Yeah.
small world. One of the other things,
Yes.
and then I really want to get to Somebody Feed Phil because I love the show, and I'm gonna step.
Thank you.
I had asked my assistant to send when Doris Roberts won an Emmy. I told my assistant to send the biggest bouquet of flowers to her. And then my
Aw.
niece was graduating high school. So I said, get her a Tiffany bracelet for my niece, flowers for Doris. I get a phone
Oh,
call
no.
from Doris
Oh.
Roberts. She said, darling, no one has ever gotten me a Tiffany bracelet except my son. And I am so blown away by your most generous gift. And then meanwhile, I'm going, now why did my niece come? Because I didn't know all this. And I'm like, she didn't even call me and say thank you for the Tiffany bracelet. And great. And I said, did you send Doris Roberts the Tiffany bracelet? She said, no, I sent her roses. I said, no. I think you sent her the Tiffany bracelet. So I called Doris and I said, and I picked it out just for you, Doris.
Was it engraved?
Oh
Was it
my God.
engraved to your
No, I think
niece?
it just said love Sherry. Like
Because
love
that's an
Auntie.
episode in and of itself.
God,
Where she sees,
that is
I'm so proud of you,
hilarious.
my favorite niece. She finally sees it, and then gives you another call.
When you create another show for Kim Whitley, feel free to use it.
Oh my God,
Phil,
that's so good.
I'll tell you.
Somebody Feeds
Yeah,
Phil, which is a big feat to go 8 seasons. And I watched the show. I was sitting on the couch and I was eating, as a matter of fact.
wait,
And I was
no.
watching-
Let's start this again. Everyone, come on. Let's give him the proper introduction, who he is and his show. Go,
I
Chris.
did that all the way at the beginning. Were you not listening?
It was a lot of talking.
It was on the phone.
Phil. Wow, Phil. We was just getting tight.
I did a shoot. That's why I told this beautiful story about
I know,
Phil.
but the story clouded it. I feel like the story.
No, that's not
And
true.
we've been
Phil is
talking to him for 20 minutes about, I want everyone to know this show, who's listening, who might have just tuned in. You never know.
That's why we're talking.
All right, check the rundown. Let's do 10 minutes on his work on the TV series Coach, and then we'll talk about a documentary he did, and then in like 20 more minutes, we'll get to Somebody Feed Phil.
So let me do this
I
for
love
the
this
people that Kim
podcast. This is
feels.
my favorite podcast. And I love the
Let me
voice
do
of
this for
God
the-
coming in.
I'm gonna do this for the people.
Three
that Kim
Image
feels
Awards,
is not
Phil.
Intelligent enough to get that we're talking to Phil Rosenthal, that we've been talking about Everybody Loves Raymond for the last 15. It was a big story that we've been talking about Ray Romano. For the people that she feels are so unintelligent that they won't be able to deduce who the hell this white man is sitting. Well, it's two white men, so they might get them confused. Okay. Phil Rosenthal, I'm very excited, y'all. As I said before, my former boss and creator of Everybody Loves Raymond, who now has a show called Somebody feed Phil. And I've explained it why food
Somebody
is
Feed
important.
Phil is season 8. Everyone is coming out. It came out yesterday. So this is the creator. He is the lead in this show. I love this show. Maybe Sherry's been knowing about this show. I'm
Yes, I
sorry,
have.
Phil. When I tell you, I've watched this show and I did not realize, first of all, I knew you. So I was like, he is so funny. I didn't know you created Everybody Loves Raymond. I just thought you was a funny white man. But when I tell you, this, hey, I got to tell the people, this show, I love this show. You know what your show did? I'm sorry, go ahead. It's on Netflix, everybody. Okay, go ahead and talk to him, Sherry.
What did it do for you,
Sherry,
Kim? That's
Sherry,
what we wanna know.
let Kim dive into her favorite episode.
I will. I want to know what it did.
First of all, Chris, you hush your mouth with your late self. So I started watching the new season, and you know what my favorite thing is? There's a couple favorite things, but I love the song. I've watched a lot of shows.
The
I don't know how
intro?
you feel about yes, I was like, that's brilliant. The song, but not only that, it made me. I've watched a lot of cooking. I mean, travel shows. I used to watch Anthony Bourdain. I used to watch, but your show, for some reason, makes me want to travel to eat. I travel all over the world, but your show made me say, I want to go to these places. I've been to Amsterdam several times, not several, but maybe 3.
You have family who
But
live in Amsterdam.
yes, I never said I got to go there to experience this food. You go just to eat and you want to go see everything. So first of all, I want to thank you for that. Okay, I'm finished.
I think though, and Phil, what I love, and I'm going to echo Kim. When I watch Somebody Feed Phil, it's not you just saying, I love this picture. I love this picture of you stuffing this food in your mouth, because you like what I get and you can tell us the reason why it's gone 8 seasons, because it's not just about, hey, here's the local spot, here's how they
Right.
make the food. You create these beautiful, loving relationships with people in the particular country that you are in. You have such an amazing sense of humor, and you're kind. Like, I watch you, Phil, and I
Yes.
go, this is a very kind and compassionate man who has respect for people, humankind. You get to the humanity of a person through food. That's like your love language. So yes, it's food, and I want to travel as well as Kim to eat, but you are so loving about it. Like it's a love language. Now you speak. That's how we feel.
Yes.
First of all, I love you both. That's so sweet what you guys just said. Thank you so much. You're talking to the luckiest person you're ever going to meet. That's how I
Wow.
feel. And I felt that way for a very long time. Back on Raymond, I felt, oh my God. I would say after, if you came in, if we had a show taping the night before, and now this morning we're going to do the table read for next week, I would start by thanking everybody for that show
Oh,
last night. And I say, we're not the lucky people. We're the very, very, very lucky people that we
Yeah.
get to do this, that we get
Yeah.
to look at us, make people laugh for a living and
Yeah.
yes,
laugh
true.
ourselves for a living. And, I want to go back to something you were talking about before, Sherry, about food on the set. That's a great way to show people that you love them, that you care
Mm.
about them.
Okay.
First you want to just be nice. Just be nice. Just be a nice person. Because I worked on lots of shows myself for other people. They weren't so nice. So how do you show people that you care about them if you're in charge? Be nice. Do good work, right? Hopefully everyone's paid what they should be paid, or a respectable, amount for their time. But after that, then what? The food. I bet you've been on sets, both of you, where there's just chips and candy on the craft service table. You go over and you grab it, and you're grabbing it. Why? There's nothing else to do. You're waiting for a shot, whatever it is. It's just there. But what if that craft service table was heaven? What if it was unbelievable? Now, let's say you and I never met. It's our first day. We go and grab some. Oh my God, these cinnamon rolls, they came from Ann Sather's in Chicago.
Oh,
And you grab it, it's warm, and you look at the person next to you never met before and go, can you believe this? And right away you're talking, and it's about something nice. Right away you're in a good mood. Food puts people in a good mood. Why? We all like it. That's why. That's why it's the show, which really, if you think about it, Somebody Feed Phil is not really even about food. I got to
Ah.
have a lot of food in the show, but I'm only using food and my
huh?
stupid sense of humor to get you the real message, which is that, I don't know, I think the world would be better if we all could experience a little bit of other people's experiences.
And
And
that,
that travel makes the world better. It makes the world better. If you're nice and you travel, okay, you make the world better. You represent when you go, not just your family, not just your state, not just your country, but soon you're a citizen of the world. And you're making the world a little bit better by putting it out there. And what you get back is invaluable. You come back home with a new perspective on life. Nothing less than that. A new perspective on life because you saw something you can now compare your life to. Sherry, you're
you know,
tearing up. Look at you.
yeah, I am tearing up because um so many people would not feel like, oh, a show about being nice is anything worth watching. But I'm telling you, when you
Yeah.
watch somebody feed Phil, it's so much humanity and heart in it. You have the most beautiful smile. I do want to tell you, your smile is like sunshine.
Oh,
But
you're so sweet. Thank you.
you did one of the episodes, and I watched from the beginning. You were in, I don't know if you were in the Netherlands or where you were, but you had lunch with a bunch of immigrants from
Mm-hmm.
different countries who had come to seek
That's
refuge
Amsterdam. Yeah,
in
yeah.
Amsterdam. They came to seek refuge in Amsterdam, these women. And I'm thinking, and you had lunch with them and you were joking with them and they were laughing. And, some people didn't understand the language, but everybody came together over at this table. And you were so kind. And you said at the end, which made me tear up, you said, gosh, you know, people are so important. And if you just sat down and met them and talked to them and maybe even broke bread with them, you'd have an entirely different perspective on a person who's an immigrant. And I
You got it.
Phil, you may not be a politician, you may not be, a pastor or a rabbi, but you are of what you said right there. I was like, needs to be preached to the world in this, in the
Oh,
climate that we are in today. You said if you
Especially
can just sit down and break bread with the person you don't know, you'd have a
or
different
understand. Absolutely.
understand, you'd have a different perspective. And that meant more to me when I was watching Somebody Feed Phil, of you sitting there and laughing with these women who had left their country because of whatever tragedy that was going on, and you made them laugh and you guys ate together. That
Yeah.
to me, I
Oh,
was like,
I love that you.
Somebody Feed Phil for life.
right.
Oh, I
Somebody
love that
feed
you.
Bill.
You get it so much.
Yeah.
That's the point. You know, if there's a theme to the series that's evolving over these 8 seasons, it came out by itself. In other words, I wasn't trying to promote any theme other than what I
Mhm.
said. I think the world would be better if we all could experience a little bit of other people's experiences. But there's a bigger theme, maybe, and that
Mm-hmm.
is about immigration. And it's not just happening in America, it's happening all over the world. People
Yes.
Yes.
immigrate to different parts of the world, and that's how culture spreads, that's how people spread, that's how the world is made, through immigration. Start over here,
Yeah.
we wind up over here, we change that world. And the point is, most immigrants make everywhere they immigrate to better, not
Better.
worse, better.
Better.
Yes. Better. Better food, better life,
That's the
better
point.
clothes. That's
and
Yes.
and
that's
and I, and I got it, and I sat there on the couch and watched, and I just smiled. And I think for me, I'm going, yeah, I see why Somebody Feed Phil has been on 8 seasons, because you bring more to it than
mhm.
just food and how we prepare it. And at the end, I love it because everybody that you've, met with, who's taken you around at their favorite restaurants, you have a
Yes,
big communal like dinner with everybody. So everybody can get to
Reunion.
know each other. You had a woman who's had a vegan from farm to table restaurant,
Yes.
and she's over here with folks who are eating all kinds of meat. You ate
Yeah.
a raw fish, and I was like, I think I
all
might try
that.
that. That
I
daggone
did
fish.
too. But were there bones in the fish? That's what I needed to know.
It was
When you were
what was
biting the
that kind of
fish,
Not in
fish
that
that
one.
you
No. No.
what's it?
That
It
was
was called.
herring.
You did herring, no
Yeah.
bones.
I ate it like
I've
a
Really?
seal. Yeah. They take it out. They take the bones out, and they're little bones anyway, like a sardine.
Uh-huh.
So herring's a little bigger than a sardine, but they brine it, so it's not just raw, right? It's been cured a little bit.
okay.
I'm telling you, it's like, when you eat an oyster and it like takes you to the ocean, right?
Yeah.
Right.
It's like that,
So when
Oh,
you
I
eat the
see.
food, because
fresh
this
and
is also
clean.
what I love. I love about Somebody Feed Phil, which is on Netflix. It's in its 8th season. Look at you. Like Phil, you're always like in wonderment when you're around people. I love that look of like joyful wonderment when you are
Yeah.
learning food from a new culture. And then you'll always come in, you don't make jokes. You just are a person with a great sense of humor. And you
Right.
lighten it, you sing, you do things. But when you eat food from another country, you look like you are having multiple orgasms. Is that
Oh,
real? Like you look like
There's
you are.
no there's no acting on the show.
right.
Everything's affected, and I know if you travel, you feel this way. Everything's affected by where you are, who you're with. I even think it affects how the food tastes
Okay.
Oh,
because it's
wow.
all
Okay.
connected. All the senses are
Yeah.
connected,
All the senses are connected. Absolutely.
right? So, like, here's a great example of the thing. Let's say we're in Venice, right? And
Mhm.
we're on our honeymoon, and we're having the most fantastic meal. It's so romantic, sitting by the canal in Venice. Look at Venice. Look at the boats going by. Look at how beautiful it is. The weather's perfect, and we're having this wine. Honey, we're gonna get a case of this wine and bring it home. So we always, because this is the best wine I ever had in my life. So we're bringing the case home, and you bring it home. And the next year, it's your anniversary. Break open a bottle of that wine from Venice. Oh boy, it's going to be just like Venice. And you decant it, and then you pour it and swirl it around and taste it. It's all right.
That's true.
Why? Because you're not
Yeah.
sitting in Venice anymore, in love on the canal on your honeymoon. It's different. The kids are screaming, and you're in your kitchen, and she's
That
annoyed
is
with me.
so true. I can't. You know what? You're absolutely right about that. I forgot about you. So now I got to pay attention. I want to know: have you ever come across anything, Phil? Now you just ruined my wine for me that I got from Italy.
I'm
Listen,
sorry. But it's a souvenir. That's what it is. It will remind
Nice.
you. I love bringing food home from the places too. If I can wrap it up nice and get
wrap
it
it
through
up.
customs,
Listen,
it's fun. Yeah, that's a
have
real
you ever?
face. That's not.
Yeah,
There's no acting. I'm not like making a mug for the camera. That's just how I feel because that thing is so friggin' delicious,
I love
and I
wait.
that.
can't
Have
believe
you
I'm
ever?
here and getting to eat it.
But have you ever bitten into something and it was not good?
Of course,
What
people
did
say
you
it looks
do?
like you like everything. Yeah, I like everything I put in the show,
Okay. So
right?
you have
Oh,
had some stuff that
I'm
was
not
not.
out to listen. I'm just one stupid guy with a stupid opinion. So why would I put something? Why would I place? I don't want to ruin this guy's business. I understand the power of being on TV. And also, here's a lesson I learned. I have less than an hour to show you all this stuff, right? And life also. I have limited amount of time in my life.
yes.
So in the show and now in life, I don't have time for the negative.
Oh,
Oh, good lesson.
that's a good
I'm not
lesson.
there to be a critic. I'm there to turn you on to the best stuff in the world. Why? Because I want you to travel. Why? Because I think the world will be better if you did. You know that 80% of Americans don't have a passport? That explains a lot of things, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Oh, wow. Did not
it
know that
really
either.
does.
I
Getting out of the
assume
country
everybody, yeah, I'm like, everybody has a
needed.
passport. Everyone travels. Wait, Phil, how have you not gained weight on this show?
It's the number one question.
Ah,
You know how they make a dog food commercial?
no.
They don't feed the dog until the commercial. So I'm the dog, and I don't eat until we film the scene that day. And we take a week to film the show. So
Oh,
it's not just, that's not one day of me eating. That's 7 days condensed into less than an hour. So that scene where I'm making that face because I'm so excited, it's because I'm hungry.
I love it.
Kym, he's being modest. Is a rigorous workout.
Oh,
oh,
yes, I do. I
oh.
do work out. I work out every day.
Okay,
Don't
that
get too
makes sense.
excited from that picture.
No, that makes sense. I got to do what Phil does.
It's so funny
You
because
gotta pay the piper.
Yeah,
I
you're
wrote
right.
down all of the restaurants that you went to, and I was like, I never even thought about going to Amsterdam. The only the people I know, Kim has a lot of family in Amsterdam, and I just never thought, oh, I want to go to Amsterdam. But you made it look so wonderful. I said, I think I want to do a girls' trip and go to Amsterdam, and
It
I want
does
to go
make
That's
to
me
it.
these
want to go.
places.
Let me
Then
go
I
with
saw
you.
another episode. You were somewhere else, and I was like, I want
I
to.
want to
I
go.
texted my
Yeah.
girlfriend. I said, we just got to
That's
travel.
it.
But he
That's
gave us,
it.
this is the thing though, Phil gave us destinations. That's what I was saying. Usually you go and we got to go see this museum and we got to go that. And maybe what you did was say, you know what? We're going to go to that museum, but then we're going to go to that little
That's right.
restaurant that Phil told us about. And then we're going to have a little something over here tomorrow. We didn't have to think. We don't have to write down all and ask them, where should we go? So when we watch your show, Somebody Feed Phil, we're going to take a little notebook, everyone, for the new
Yes.
season that just came out on Netflix. Please have a notebook while you're
Yes.
watching these episodes, because if you like to travel, he has found some of the best places, destination restaurants, food, bakeries, all sorts of things that you can definitely add to your list. And that's what I hope that you are partnering with some kind of travel agency or somebody that, they need your information.
I'd love to.
Before
But by the way, you don't have to write stuff down. I have a website, philrosenthalworld.com. Every single place we go in the show, we put in there with links to the place.
Wait,
and I
say it
also
again. Phil,
oh
sorry.
philrosenthalworld.com.
World, got it.
Yeah,
RosenThalWorld.com. You have a charity.
I do.
What is tell me about your charity?
Yeah.
So it's actually multiple charities. Somebody Feed the People, because it's more important to feed the people than to feed me.
Yes.
There's a lot of people who, and a lot of our charities deal with food insecurity around the world. But we're
Mhm.
involved. I feature a charity almost every episode because I love showcasing people that are doing real good, like the immigrant story that you saw in the Amsterdam, right? It's not the whole
Yes.
show, just a little part. Because you gotta, a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. You first have to
Absolutely.
be a show that people want to watch. But if I can
Right.
sneak in a little message of helping other people, good.
Yes.
So we support all those places. Everything you see on the show, if you see the show and you say, you know what, that sounds worthwhile, I want to give a little something. But there's plenty of places here in America that you can donate to. And if, again, on philrosenthalworld.com, you can go there and see the charities, all the charities that are under Somebody Feed the People, like World Central Kitchen, or Food Forward, things like this, things we know. So I didn't invent any of these charities. I'm doing an amalgam of all the charities. I'm putting it all in one place. Whatever interests you, as long as we give something. I know a lot of
Yes.
people who have money don't give to anybody.
I
True.
have to
So
tell you the impact
I
that
don't
you've
get it.
made. You've made such a big impact on me because I always think, like I told the story, how you always had food on the set of Everybody Loves Raymond, and it was always different food. And I was always happy because I love to eat. You came
Oh,
on my
look at
show.
you.
You had
I
matzo
sure
ball soup,
did.
which was wonderful. I love, because I get matzo ball soup all the time. Yours was wonderful, and you have to come back because I want to talk to you more. But because of what you used to do on Everybody Loves Raymond, I
Yeah.
always feed my staff. Like I will,
Great.
because I think that you can tell when you can tell the person who runs the show, their character, to me, by the food that they have.
Yeah.
I've been on
I
sets, and
think
you
you're
have too,
right.
Kym, where it's like just chips and donuts. And I remember being on
Yeah.
that kind of set. I said, first of all, I'm diabetic. I can't even eat this. But
Yeah.
they had nothing else for lunch. That's all they had, and it was like everybody better be glad you got that, as compared
Wow.
to what you do. And I've always remembered that. And so literally I will say, our crew on the set, the camera people, let's give them pancakes and bacon and eggs.
That's
And it's
it.
not,
That's it.
they come and they say, thank you, because we were so busy, we couldn't go over to the other side and get any food.
That's
So it
right.
makes my
And you
heart
know what
happy.
else happens? You know what else happens when you do that? You create a family.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's what you want. So Everybody Loves Raymond was a show about a family, for families, made by a family.
Made by a
Oh,
family.
nice.
And this, you guys, is the person behind the creation of Everybody Loves Raymond, but you'll really get to see who he is if you watch Somebody Feed Phil, which is on Netflix in season 8. No small feat, but you really get to see the heart of Phil Rosenthal and why Everybody Loves Raymond. One of the reasons why Everybody Loves Raymond been so long. His heart is so good, and he's such a kind man. That's what I always say when I talk about Phil. He's such a kind man. What an
Thank you.
angel you are. Truly.
Well, I love you. Thank you.
Despite all the
Look
arguing
at your
between
friends. Look at your friends. They're in the show. You see them?
Brad and Ray.
That's Brad
Hey,
and Ray
Brad.
in Las Vegas with me.
Nice.
A little
You
reunion.
are
Yeah.
you are just the cat's meow. This was so much
Oh,
fun.
you are too.
Hey, let's tell
Well,
some
I want
people.
to see you.
Oh,
I
excuse
want to
me,
eat
Phil.
with
Go.
both of you.
Well, I want to eat with you.
Yes, I'm gonna take him
I
to
don't want you to
Cleveland.
go to
I'm in
Cleveland.
New York,
I want to go
Sherry.
to
I'm
Europe.
in New York right now. Come on.
I'm always in New York, so we can get together and eat. When
And
you
you're
go to Europe.
filming.
I would
You're
love
filming.
Am
Phil,
I
are you
filming now? No.
Okay.
You know what he is doing?
No, but I'm about to do a live tour. Oh, there it is.
Oh,
Like 30
oh,
cities at least. Yeah,
wait
yeah.
a minute. Wait.
I play
You're doing
all over the
stand-up?
world.
You're doing
That's the
all
power
over?
of Netflix.
You going-
We
These
fill
are big
theaters all over
venues.
the world. I can't believe it.
These are 2,000 to 4,000 person venues from what I see.
What are you
It's
doing?
crazy.
Like, what is your show?
Stand up.
I come out, I eat a donut, I go off.
Shut up.
Good night.
We show a little highlight reel, and then
Uh-huh.
I come out with a moderator, different moderator every city, and then that's the first half of the show. The second half is Q&A, and I tell hopefully funny stories about my life and career, Raymond, how I got this show, which wasn't easy, and then all the misadventures that my brother makes me do. He's the producer. He's making up for when I picked on him when he was little.
I love how kind you are with your crew. You will be eating, and then you will go give them a plate of whatever. And I'm sure
Again, a family. It's made by family. That's it. And by the way, here's the other lesson. It's only good if you can share it.
it's
So
only
wait,
good
I'm gonna
if you
ask
can
the
share.
last. I gotta ask one last question since I don't know Phil like you know Phil. So you don't do stand up. You're very funny.
No. I think I tried it once when I was 19 and it was mortifying. But I was in all the school plays.
Okay, all right. Oh,
Phil
that's
is
so
just
bad.
a funny guy.
But his friends are stand ups. That's what's
But
interesting.
let me say this. You know who's funny? His wife, Monica. Monica
She's
played
funny.
Brad Garrett's wife on Everybody Loves Raymond. That's Phil's
Amy.
wife.
What?
And
Did I
you know,
say
there's
that?
a funny story actually. There's a funny story actually, if we have a second, how she got the part. She slept with
How?
the producer.
That's okay. Okay.
The one time it worked. The one time it worked.
And by the
And she
way,
slept
we were
with him
already
multiple
married,
times.
so that was very unusual.
But it was one of those
There he
things,
is.
though, Phil. Even though you like, a lot of people say, "Oh, there's nepotism," and there were so many other qualified actresses. She was so good as
I
Brad's
didn't even
wife.
suggest her for the part. Honestly, Steve Scrovan said, "What about Monica for that part?" There was a date
No
for
way.
Robert in the first season, and one of the other writers said, "What about Monica for that part?" And I said,
See?
I'm not going to push my wife on America. If you guys think, we'll maybe we see if they're good together. We'll see if that works. Well, they hit it out of the park. The two of them were so
Oh,
sweet together, and they were all up and down the relationship, right until season 7. We said they should get married now. That's
I was
a
in
good
that.
direction to take the show. Yeah, you were
I was
there.
in season 7 when they got married, but it was like
Yep.
she was so perfect as Brad's wife, and it was Phil's wife.
that's amazing.
Perfect casting.
I'm glad you shared that. That was perfect.
But Kym,
I remember an episode where you and Monica and Stefania
Oh,
all told Brad what was wrong with him.
we all sat down, Kym,
That
and
was
we
so
told the
good.
women in his life, told him like we couldn't even take it anymore. It was the funniest. We had him on the couch, all of us.
And it was led by Doris, led by his own mother.
Doris. What a
That's-
betrayal!
Tell him
Don't
what's wrong
trust-
with him.
I have to see that episode too. I got 2
That's a
episodes.
good one.
It was
Oh
very
my God.
funny, and you are very funny and just wonderful. Give your wife a big kiss for me.
I sure will. We all have to go eat.
I'm down for eating. Now, if you do the show, I want to go to
Kim, you're
Europe.
invited.
Come
on.
Kim down.
You all can meet
Also,
it. You can,
everybody Phil is on the road. Also, not only his show,
Yep.
but
Are you
You
in
all
New
could-
York?
I'm in
With,
New York right now.
I mean, are you in New York with your show that you're traveling, your tour? Is it coming?
Oh, I'll be doing it. Yeah. In fact, you can cut this out, but Tuesday night we're having a premiere of season 8 at the 92nd Street Y, and then I come out and do a little Q&A. If you wanted to come, it's we're showing a different episode than you watched.
Oh, I gotta go to a play. Dang it! Let me see what time I get out of the. I'll find out what time each starts because I could probably leave the play early or get there late and just come. And
Well,
just
that's
say,
fine.
hey,
But
love the 92nd Street
but
Walk.
then I'll be coming back in November because I have a book coming out. I'll be coming to around November 5th when the book comes out, and I'll
then you'll be on my
playing
show.
somewhere.
You'll be on
Come on.
Sherri. There we go.
I would love
I
to.
love you. This has been amazing. You are so
I love
absolutely
you.
wonderful, Rosenthal.
And I'm so
Sarah,
happy.
we've been friends 25 years at least.
25
Yes.
years. Jeez Louise.
Come on.
Time waits for nobody.
Kim, we're going to be friends now the next 25 years, all right?
Careful.
Absolutely.
Phil,
I
be
truly
careful.
will. No,
Be
you
careful.
be quiet. You be quiet. Me and Phil will be tight.
You're gonna be hanging out in Larchmont at his new diner. Tell us about. Do we
That's
have
right.
5? Let's do five set. Plug the diner, plug everything, and then we have to plug your show in New Jersey, which is Friday. So I'll just remind everyone. If you want me to
You
plug,
got a diner?
And Larchmont's
So I
coming out.
invest in restaurants. I've invested in over 25 restaurants around mostly LA, but different cities also, because I'm not very bright. And I think this is, I think it's my way. We support the arts, and this is, obviously one of my favorite arts is restaurants and chefs. They're artists. And I've
Wow.
always loved diners, and I feel like diners are disappearing from America.
Yeah.
They
And
are.
with that, we lose senses of community. And maybe when we lose a sense of our community, we lose the country. So I'm going to fix everything with my diner on Larchmont Boulevard. And I got a great chef to be the executive chef, Nancy Silverton, who also lives in
love
the
it.
neighborhood and thinks that's a good idea. Yeah. And,
Because Jeffrey and I, there's a diner that we go to every Saturday, and they know
Where?
us when we come in. It's called Gramercy Kitchen, right on 17th and 3rd.
oh, yeah.
We
Okay.
go in, and they always say, "Hey, Jeffrey," and
That's it.
Jeffrey goes by himself, so they already know, my son, who he is, and he's on the
Oh.
spectrum, and they're so gentle with him. But because we go there that's our mother and son bonding time at the Gramercy Kitchen Diner.
Beautiful.
Oh, this
Oh,
is
Beautiful.
Max and
Well,
Helen,
Max and
a
Helen's.
neighborhood
yes, it's
diner.
named after my parents. It's named after my
Oh,
folks.
wait, I want to write
We'll
this
be
down. This
there.
127. I'm bringing I'm taking
Caroline
Caroline.
Ray lives over there.
She's gonna
Kim.
love.
That's right. She's my friend. Yeah,
Oh, so you're gonna
Yeah.
let Caroline know? Well, I want to act like I found out first.
good. Yeah. I haven't
It's
seen
so
her in a
funny.
bit.
And we were just with Caroline a couple of days ago. We were sitting there. We had a lot of fun. But every time I go
She's
around there, I always
hilarious.
think about you because are you still at the same place? I'm not going to say your address, but you still at the same place? Your home?
Yep.
Okay. So
Yep.
every time I drive in that area, I go, Phil Rosenthal. You don't ever hear me coming back. I go, Phil, Monica. Yeah, you don't hear me. But that's me.
It came up.
Well, you're welcome anytime.
I laughed. It came up. I ran into Phil at the coffee shop there and just said hello once, and I was like, I thought this is happening. He's here. It's real.
Wait, Phil. When is it opening? End of July?
We hope the end of July, but you never know.
Okay, so if I come in August,
A lot of stuff happens. Yeah. You got to deal with the city and all those things, permits and all
Max
that.
and Helen's.
Max
I
Max and
love
Helen,
it.
those were my parents. Yeah.
Diner. I love that.
They were in Somebody Feed Phil the first several years. I would Zoom with them,
Uh-huh.
and my dad would do a joke. And so now
Got to go back.
that they've passed, first of all, the diner's a great way to memorialize them, right? And do a tribute to them in a way.
Yes.
But on the show, we have funny people tell a joke for Max.
Oh, nice.
So, like, if you saw the Amsterdam show, Sherri, you saw our friend Andy Kindler from Raymond do a joke.
I love
How
Andy.
great was that joke, by the way?
That's for
That
Dad.
joke was so daggone funny. Can you tell the joke to Kim? I laughed
Yeah.
so hard. You gotta tell
I
the
was-
joke.
This is Andy's joke, but
Okay.
I've been telling it in the live shows. So I attribute it to Andy, of course. But here's the joke: old lady, very cheap old lady, doesn't want to spend a dime, but her husband dies, and she's got to put the notice in the obituary. So she calls the local paper, and the editor of the obituary column answers, and she says, "How much is it for the obituary?" And he says, "It's $5 a word." And she goes, "Oh, all right, put this down. Sal died." And he says, "I'm sorry, ma'am, it is a minimum of 5 words." And she says, "Oh, all right, put this down. Sal died. Volvo for sale."
Wait.
Saul died.
That's
Volvo
5
for
words.
sale. 5 words.
That's 5 words.
Husband died, and we got a car for sale. I love that joke.
No,
You
and
tell
this is-
Andy.
That's a
Kindler.
great joke.
but wait,
That's
this
a
how
great
twisted
joke.
I am. I thought something else she was selling.
Yeah, we're not aligned. We're not aligned.
You know what a Volvo is? Maybe that's the problem.
Volvo car. Yeah.
Phil, I'm gonna have to tell you offline what I was thinking.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah,
I think I know what you were thinking.
yeah we know what you're saying.
Okay.
And that's
Phil's
adorable that you were thinking that.
I was thinking that, Phil. I'm sorry.
Look
That's
at you
fine.
guys doing a show. Let's plug this in Newark, New Jersey, June 20th. Sherri and
At
Kym
the
together,
NJ
two
Pack.
funny mamas.
Phil, they can get tickets
Love
on
it.
Ticketmaster.
It's at the NJ
Who doesn't want to
Pack.
see this show?
You know what we do, Phil? We get on stage, and I don't know if there's anybody like us. We can get on stage and we can literally talk together and do stand up
Yeah.
together for 2 hours.
Wow.
But we get
Oh,
on stage
That's
for
fantastic.
about 20 to 30 minutes, and we just talk. We improv and we talk, and
Improv.
and then we each go separate. We introduce each other, and we do
Yeah.
solo stand up comedy.
Yeah.
And then we do a Q&A at the end. People want to ask us about whatever. We sit and do a Q&A. So it's just,
Isn't Q&A the best?
Q&A is
I love it.
awesome.
One of my favorite
Awesome.
parts.
I love
of
it.
the
See,
It's my
I'm-
favorite part.
I'm very kind like you, which is why, my empath part of my heart just touched.
It's time to get off, y'all.
No, I just want to tell Phil the example of why I say I'm kind like you, Phil. So when we do our Q&A, if somebody says to us, and this happened, "I love the jeans Kym is wearing," and I'll look and I'll say, "Well, we're going to send you a pair of those jeans," because I know it's going to make their day. I know it's going to be a story that they're going to tell for the next 20 years about the two funny mamas. So I'll say, we're going to get you a pair of those jeans. Immediately, the other funny mama will go, no, we're not. We're not spending that money and getting them jeans. Or somebody will stand up and say, Phil, one lady stood up and she said, I've always wanted to do stand up and I'm in my 50s and you both inspire me. And I said, well, then you know what? You're coming on the road with us. You're going to open with us in our next city. And Kym goes, and who's paying for that? We're not paying for that. No, she can't come. And we're arguing on stage. And I go, Kym, we've inspired the lady. She goes, no, she got to go sleep with somebody. If you want to come with us, you sleep with somebody, get your plane fare. That's my friend.
So in all of that, Phil, what we're saying is we need you to create a show for us.
No, we don't. No, we don't. The show's not going to last.
And who's going to pay for that?
See you see what I'm talking about? That's Phil Rosenthal, folks.
Phil Rosenthal.
Somebody feed Phil.
Somebody feed Phil on Netflix right now.
Season 8, y'all, on Netflix. If it has gone 8 seasons, you know it's something special. Please watch Somebody Feed Phil. You will be so happy. That face right there. Somebody Feed Phil on Netflix.
Thank you so
and while
much.
you're there, check out Straw. That was #1 internationally. Sherry's in that. Shout out to Tyler Perry and the crew.
Congratulations, Sherry.
We thank you so much.
It's a big deal. She's in that.
Awesome.
And then Phil's going to hit #1. And then guess what? At the end of July, Kym Whitley in a little movie that tries so hard, indie movie, Happy Gilmore Part 2 with Adam Sandler. That's going to hit #1. The three of you are going to hit #1. In November, come see Kym in St. Louis at the Art Museum. Gallery Laughs. You know who produces that. That's right. Kym's like, I don't know if I want to play that. Yeah, keep it on there.
Tomorrow.
Wow, they'll do anything to get you in that museum, huh?
Chris
Comedy.
is producing it, and he had to sleep with a lot of people to get Kym in that music.
Oh,
Come on.
that's right. Hey, so Friday, that's the New Jersey show. I told everybody about this. Friends of the show, Jonathan Kite, Mia Jackson in Atlanta. Thanks to Jack Daniels, Fernbank Museum. We're doing a show down there for Gallery Laughs as well. So thanks, ladies. Thanks, Phil.
Phil, thank you so much.
I love you guys.
Thank you. We love you.
I love you. Thank you so much for having me on. This was so fun.
Oh, I'm glad you have fun. We're glad you have fun.
Absolutely. You were great.
And I'll see you on Sherry's show when you come out with your new book.
Come on. I'm there for you.
We
and
got
then we
you.
eat.
And then we
All
eat.
right.
Absolutely. Love you, Phil.
All right. Thank you, Phil.
Love
Thanks,
you.
Chris. Bye, Sherry.
Bye, you guys.
Bye, everybody.
Two funny mamas. Two funny mamas. What's with the grin? Sherri and Kym. Yeah, that's them. About to throw down again. Tickling the soul from beginning to the end. Two dope friends. I love the way they do their thing. They digress, don't distress. Such a beautiful mess. Too real.